Ryan had always been a light sleeper. Even the smallest sound would wake him up. But lately, something strange was happening. He was sleeping deeper than ever before, and his dreams were becoming more real than his actual life. It started on a Tuesday night in October. Ryan was a college student studying space science at the local university. He lived in a small dorm room with his roommate Alex, who was always playing video games until late at night. That particular evening, Ryan went to bed around 11, exhausted from studying for his astronomy exam. The dream began like any other. Ryan found himself walking through a dark forest. But this forest was unlike any place on Earth. The trees were tall and silver, their leaves shimmering like metal in the moonlight. The sky above was a deep purple color, with 2 moons hanging. In the distance, everything felt incredibly real. He could smell the strange, sweet air and feel the soft grass beneath his feet. Then he saw her. She was sitting by a small pond that reflected the purple sky. Her skin was pale, almost glowing in the moonlight. Her eyes were larger than normal human eyes, dark and deep like the night sky. Her hair was long and silver, flowing like water down her back. She wore a simple white dress that seemed to move on its own, even though there was no wind. When she looked at him, Ryan felt something he had never experienced before. It was as if she was looking directly into his soul. She didn't speak with her mouth, but somehow her voice filled his mind. "Hello, Ryan," she said without moving her lips. Her voice was soft and musical, like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. Ryan wanted to ask how she knew his name, but before he could speak, she smiled. It was the most beautiful smile he had ever seen. She stood up gracefully and walked toward him. With each step, the ground beneath her feet seemed to sparkle. "Who are you?" Ryan managed to ask, though his voice sounded strange in this dream. "World." Instead of answering, she reached out and touched his forehead. Suddenly, Ryan's mind was filled with images. He saw vast cities made of crystal and light floating in the clouds. He saw beings like her, living in harmony with nature and technology. He saw planets with rings of gold and silver and stars that danced in patterns across the sky. The images were so vivid and detailed that Ryan knew this was no ordinary dream. Everything felt too real, too specific. He could smell the flowers in those alien gardens, feel the warmth of those distant suns, hear the gentle music that filled those crystal cities. "I need your help," she said, her voice now filled with urgency. "But you must find me first." Before Ryan could ask what she meant, the dream began to fade. He reached out to touch her hand, but she was already disappearing like smoke in the wind. The purple sky turned black, and Ryan woke up in his dorm room, breathing heavily. He looked at his alarm clock. It was 3 in the morning. Alex was still awake, playing his games with headphones on. Ryan sat up in bed, his heart still racing. The dream had felt more real than the room he was now sitting in. 3 nights later, the dream came again. This time Ryan found himself in what looked like a library, but instead of books, the shelves were filled with glowing orbs of light. She was there again, sitting at a table made of what looked like frozen starlight. "You came back," she said, looking up from the orb she was holding. "I was hoping you would. This isn't just a dream, is it?" Ryan asked, walking closer to her. She shook her head slowly. "No, it's not. My name is Luna. I'm reaching out to you through the space between worlds. I'm trapped, Ryan. I need you to find me in your world." Luna stood up and walked to one of the glowing orbs. When she touched it, it showed Ryan images of Earth, but not the Earth he knew. This Earth was seen from above, from space. Then the image zoomed in, showing forests and mountains, getting closer and closer until Ryan could see a specific area that looked familiar. "I'm here," Luna said, pointing to a spot in the image. "But I'm not fully in your world yet. I'm stuck between dimensions. These dreams are the only way I can reach you." Ryan studied the image carefully. It looked like the forest area near his college, about 20 miles north of the campus. He had been hiking there a few times with his friends. "Why me?" Ryan asked. "Why are you reaching out to me?" Luna smiled sadly. "'Cause you're the only one who can hear me. Some people are more sensitive to the connections between worlds. You have a gift, Ryan, even if you don't know it yet. She walked back to him and placed her hand on his chest. Ryan felt a warm feeling spread through his entire body. It was like being wrapped in sunlight and starlight at the same time. "I don't have much time," Luna continued. "The connection between our worlds is getting weaker. If you don't find me soon, I'll be lost forever, stuck between dimensions with no way home." Ryan wanted to ask her so many questions. Where was she from? How did she get trapped? What would happen if he couldn't find her? But before he could speak, the dream began to fade again. "Remember the forest?" Luna's voice echoed as everything went dark. "Look for the place where the stream meets the old oak tree. I'll be waiting." Ryan woke up again, this time at exactly 3 in the morning. He noticed this was the same time he had woken up from the first dream. He grabbed a notebook from his desk and quickly wrote down everything he could remember. The images, the conversations, the feeling of Luna's touch, everything seemed incredibly important. Over the next few days, Ryan couldn't stop thinking about the dreams. He found himself distracted in class, staring out the window and wondering if Luna was real. His friends noticed the change in him. Alex asked if he was feeling okay, and his study partner Beth commented that he seemed like he was always thinking about something else. Ryan started researching everything he could about dreams, dimensions, and the possibility of contact between worlds. He spent hours in the library reading books about quantum physics and parallel universes. Most of what he read seemed like science fiction, but some of it made him wonder if there might be more to reality than what people normally experienced. Third dream came exactly 3 nights after the second one. Ryan was starting to see a pattern. This time he found himself in a place that looked like a garden. But the plants were unlike anything on Earth. The flowers glowed with their own light, and the trees had leaves that chimed like bells when the wind touched them. Luna was sitting beside a fountain that flowed upward instead of downward. When she saw Ryan, she stood up quickly and ran to him. "You're starting to believe," she said, looking into his eyes. "I can feel it. The connection between us is getting stronger." "I've been thinking about you every day," Ryan admitted. "I can't stop wondering if you're real." "I am real," Luna said firmly. "It's just not in the way you understand reality. I'm from a place very far from here, but I came to your world by accident. My ship crashed in your forest. I'm trapped in a space between dimensions, and I'm running out of time." She took his hand, and Ryan felt that same warm feeling from before. But this time, he also felt something else, a sense of desperation and fear. "What happens if I can't find you?" Ryan asked. Luna looked down at their joined hands. "Then I'll fade away completely. I'll never be able to return to my home, and I'll never be able to stay in your world either. I'll just ... disappear." The weight of her words hit Ryan like a physical blow. This beautiful, mysterious being was depending on him. If he failed, she would be lost forever. "I'll find you," Ryan said with determination. "Promise I'll find you." Luna smiled, and for the first time, it was a smile filled with hope instead of sadness. "I knew you were special the moment I felt your mind. You have a kind heart, Ryan. That's why I was able to reach you." As the dream began to fade, Luna pressed something into Ryan's hand. When he looked down, he saw a small, glowing stone that felt warm to the touch. "This will help you find me," she said. "When you get close to where I am, it will get warmer. So when you're far away, it will get cooler." Ryan woke up with his hand closed tight around something. When he opened it, he gasped. The glowing stone was there, real and warm in his palm. It was proof that Luna wasn't just a dream. She was real, and she needed his help. From that moment on, Ryan knew his life had changed forever. He had to find Luna, no matter what it took. The question was, would he be brave enough to venture into the unknown forest and search for someone who existed between worlds? As he held the glowing stone and watched the sun rise through his dorm room window, Ryan made his decision. He would start searching that very weekend. Luna was counting on him, and he wouldn't let her down. Ryan woke up on Thursday morning feeling different. The glowing stone from his dream was still in his hand, now cool but definitely real. He had hidden it in his desk drawer before Alex woke up, but he kept thinking about it all day. During his morning astronomy class, He couldn't focus on anything Professor Williams was saying about star formations. All he could think about was Luna and her urgent message. That night, Ryan went to bed early, hoping to dream of Luna again. But something strange happened. He woke up at 2 in the morning, not because of a dream, but because he heard something. It sounded like someone was writing on his wall with chalk. The sound was soft but clear in the quiet dorm room. Ryan sat up in bed and looked around. Alex was fast asleep, snoring softly. The room was dark, except for the small light from Alex's phone charger. Ryan listened carefully, but the sound had stopped. He lay back down, thinking maybe he had imagined it. When morning came, Ryan got up to get ready for class. As he walked past his desk, he stopped and stared at the wall behind it. There, drawn in what looked like silver ink, were symbols he had never seen before. They were elegant and flowing, almost like a form of writing, but definitely not from any language on Earth. Ryan's heart started beating faster. These symbols looked exactly like the ones he had seen in Luna's world during his dreams. But how could they be on his wall? He walked closer and touched one of the symbols. It felt warm, under his fingertips, and seemed to glow slightly when he touched it. "Alex," Ryan called softly, not wanting to wake his roommate too suddenly. "Alex, wake up." Alex groaned and rolled over. "What time is it, man? It's too early for classes." "Look at this," Ryan said, pointing to the wall. "These symbols. They weren't here yesterday." Alex sat up and rubbed his eyes. When he saw the symbols, he was wide awake. "Dude, what is that? Did you draw those?" "No, I didn't draw them," Ryan said. "I woke up and they were just here." Alex got out of bed and walked over to examine the symbols more closely. "This is weird, Ryan. Really? Weird. Are you sure you didn't do this in your sleep or something?" Ryan shook his head. "I don't sleepwalk, Alex. Besides, look at how perfect these are. I could never draw something like this, even if I was awake." Alex looked concerned. "Maybe we should tell someone about this, like the resident advisor or something." "No," Ryan said quickly. "Not yet. Let me figure out what's happening first." Throughout the day, Ryan kept thinking about the symbols. He tried to draw them in his notebook during lunch, but his drawings looked clumsy compared to the perfect ones on his wall. He also noticed that the glowing stone in his drawer seemed to pulse slightly whenever he was near the symbols. That evening, Ryan decided to set up his phone to record his room while he slept. He wanted to see if anything strange happened during the night. He positioned the phone so it could see his bed and the wall with the symbols. The dream that night was different from the others. Ryan found himself in what looked like a laboratory, but everything was made of the same crystal-like material he had seen in Luna's world. Luna was there, but she looked weaker than before. Her glow was dimmer, and she seemed tired. "Ryan," she said, her voice softer than usual. "I'm so glad you're here. I don't have much energy left." "Luna, something happened," Ryan said urgently. "Symbols appeared on my wall. They look like the writing from your world." Luna's eyes widened with surprise and hope. "You can see them? That means the barrier between our worlds is getting thinner." "I'm getting closer to breaking through. But how is that possible?" Ryan asked. Luna walked over to a crystal wall and placed her hand on it. Images began to appear, showing Ryan what looked like layers of reality stacked on top of each other like sheets of glass. "Your world and mine exist in different dimensions," Luna explained. "But when I crashed, my ship created a crack between them. I've been using the last of my energy to try to reach through that crack. The symbols you saw are my way of communicating with your world directly." Ryan studied the images carefully. "So you're not just in my dreams anymore, not just dreams," Luna confirmed. "I'm starting to exist in your world too, but only in small ways. The symbols are the beginning. But Ryan, I need you to understand something important. The longer I stay trapped between worlds, the more dangerous it becomes." "Dangerous how?" Ryan asked. Luna looked worried. "The crack between dimensions is growing. If it gets too big, it could cause problems for both our worlds. I need to either return to my dimension or fully enter yours. I can't stay trapped in between much longer." She reached out and touched Ryan's forehead again. This time the images were more urgent and frightening. Ryan saw flashes of energy storms, reality bending and twisting, and both worlds being affected by the unstable connection. "I understand," Ryan said. "I have to find you soon." "There's something else," Luna said, her voice becoming even softer. "The connection between us is changing me. The more I reach out to you, the more I'm becoming like someone from your world.
Yeah?
I'm starting to feel things I've never felt before." Ryan felt a warm feeling in his chest. "What kind of things?" Luna looked down, almost shyly. "I think you call it caring. In my world, we don't form individual attachments the way humans do, but being connected to you, ... It's making me want to understand what it means to truly care about someone." Before Ryan could respond, the dream began to fade. But this time, instead of just disappearing, Luna seemed to be struggling to maintain the connection. "Wait," Ryan called out. "Don't go yet." "Have to," Luna said, her voice echoing as the dream world crumbled around them. "But Ryan, check your room when you wake up. I think I was able to do something new." Ryan woke up suddenly, his heart racing. He immediately looked at his phone to check the recording. The video showed him sleeping peacefully. But at exactly 3:17 a.m., something amazing happened. A soft silver light began to glow from the symbols on the wall. The light grew brighter and brighter, and then, for just a moment, Ryan could see the outline of a figure standing near his desk. The figure was transparent, like a ghost, but Ryan could clearly make out Luna's shape. She was looking at him sleeping, and she seemed to be trying to touch his face. But her hand passed through him like he was made of air. The image lasted only a few seconds before the light faded and she disappeared. Ryan rewound the video and watched it again. There was no doubt about it. Luna had actually appeared in his room, even if only for a moment. She was real, and she was trying to cross over into his world. But the most amazing thing was what happened next. Ryan looked at the wall and saw that there were new symbols, different from the ones that had appeared the night before. These symbols seemed to form a pattern, almost like a map. Ryan grabbed his notebook and carefully copied the new symbols. As he drew them, he realized they looked like directions. There were lines that looked like paths and shapes that could be landmarks. At the center of the pattern was a symbol that looked like a star. Ryan pulled out the glowing stone from his drawer. When he held it near the new symbols, it began to pulse with a steady rhythm. The stone was definitely reacting to Luna's messages. "This is it," Ryan whispered to himself. "She's showing me how to find her." Over the next few days, Ryan studied the symbols constantly. He compared them to maps of the forest area near his college, trying to match the patterns to real locations. The more he studied them, the more convinced he became that Luna was giving him specific directions to where she was trapped. But Ryan also noticed something else. Each night, more symbols appeared on his wall. And each night, when he watched the recordings from his phone, Luna's image became a little clearer and lasted a little longer. She was definitely getting stronger, but she also seemed more desperate. On Sunday night, instead of appearing as a transparent figure, Luna's image was solid enough that Ryan could see her clearly. She looked directly at the camera and mouthed the words, "Help me," before disappearing. Ryan knew he couldn't wait any longer. The symbols on his wall now covered almost the entire surface, creating what looked like a detailed map of the forest. The glowing stone had become warm to the touch and pulsed constantly. Alex had been asking questions about the symbols, but Ryan had managed to convince him they were just some kind of art project. However, Ryan knew that soon Alex would realize something supernatural was happening. That night, Ryan made his decision. He would go to the forest the next weekend and follow Luna's map. He had to find her before the situation became even more dangerous for both of them as he fell asleep. Ryan whispered to the symbols on his wall, "I'm coming, Luna. Just hold on a little longer." He didn't know it then, but Luna heard him. In the space between worlds, she smiled for the first time since she had crash-landed on Earth. Ryan was finally ready to find her, and she would be waiting. Ryan couldn't wait for the weekend. By Friday afternoon, he had packed his backpack with everything he thought he might need for the forest search. He brought water bottles, energy bars, a flashlight, his phone charger, and most importantly, the glowing stone that Luna had given him in his dreams, Alex noticed Ryan's nervous energy. "You've been acting really strange lately, man. Are you okay?" Ryan looked at his roommate, debating whether to tell him the truth. The symbols on the wall had grown so much that they now covered 3 walls of their small dorm room. There was no way Alex hadn't noticed them, even though he hadn't said anything lately. "Alex," Ryan said finally, "I need to tell you something, and I need your help." Alex put down his video game controller and gave Ryan his full attention.
What's going
On, Ryan took a deep breath. "Remember those symbols that appeared on our wall? They're not just random drawings. They're messages from someone who needs my help." "Messages from who?" Alex asked, looking confused. "Her name is Luna," Ryan said. She's not from here. She's from another world, and she's trapped between dimensions. She's been reaching out to me through dreams, and now she's starting to appear in our room." Alex stared at Ryan for a long moment. "Dude, do you hear how that sounds? You're talking about aliens and other dimensions?" Ryan pulled out his phone and showed Alex the recordings from the past week. "Look at this. Just watch." Alex watched the videos in silence. His eyes grew wider with each clip as he saw the symbols appearing on the wall by themselves, the glowing lights, and most shocking of all, the transparent figure of Luna appearing in their room. "This is real," Alex whispered. "This is actually happening. She's trapped in the forest about 20 miles from here," Ryan explained. "These symbols are a map showing me how to find her. I'm going there tomorrow, and I could really use your help." Alex was quiet for a few minutes, processing everything he had seen. Finally, he nodded. "Okay, I'll help you. But we need to be careful. If something goes wrong out there, we could both get hurt." That night, Ryan had the most vivid dream yet. He found himself standing in what looked like Luna's crashed ship. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. The walls were smooth and curved, made of a material that looked like metal but felt warm and alive. Strange lights pulsed along the ceiling, and the air hummed with energy. Luna was there, but she looked different. She seemed more solid, more real than in previous dreams. She was wearing clothes that looked almost human, a simple shirt and pants. But they seemed to be made of the same material as her ship. "Ryan," she said, and her voice sounded relieved. "You're getting closer. I can feel it. I'm coming to find you tomorrow," Ryan said. "Alex is going to help me." Luna smiled, and Ryan felt that warm feeling in his chest again. "I'm glad you won't. Be alone. The forest can be dangerous, especially near where I am." "What do you mean dangerous?" Ryan asked. Luna walked over to what looked like a window, but instead of showing the outside, it displayed images of the forest. "When my ship crashed, it created energy disturbances in the area. Animals avoid the place now, and the plants grow differently. Even the weather is strange there." She turned back to Ryan, and he could see concern in her large, dark eyes. "But there's something else you need to know. The longer I stay trapped between worlds, the more unstable the area becomes. Yesterday, I felt tremors in the dimensional barrier. Time is running out." "What happens if we don't find you in time?" Ryan asked, though he was afraid of the answer. "The barrier could collapse completely," Luna said quietly. "It would create a permanent opening between our worlds. It might sound good, but it would be catastrophic for both dimensions. The mixing of 2 realities would cause chaos." Ryan felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. "If I fail, ... you won't fail," Luna said firmly. "I have faith in you. But Ryan, there's something else. When you find me, I might not look exactly like this. Being trapped between dimensions is changing me. I'm becoming more like someone from your world, but the process is ... difficult." Before Ryan could ask what she meant, the dream began to fade. "Follow the map exactly," Luna's voice echoed as everything went dark. And Ryan ... "Thank you for believing in me." Saturday morning came with gray skies and a light drizzle. Ryan and Alex loaded their backpacks into Alex's old car and drove toward the forest. Ryan had studied the symbol map so many times that he had memorized every line and curve. The forest was about an hour's drive from campus. As they got closer, Ryan noticed that the glowing stone in his pocket was getting warmer. By the time they reached the forest parking area, the stone was almost hot to the touch. "The stone is reacting," Ryan told Alex as they got out of the car. "We're definitely in the right place." The forest looked normal from the outside. But as they followed the trail deeper into the woods, Ryan began to notice small changes. The trees seemed taller and more twisted than usual. The leaves rustled even when there was no wind. Strangest of all, they hadn't seen a single bird or squirrel since entering the forest. "This place feels weird," Alex said, looking around. Nervously, "It's too quiet." Ryan consulted the symbol map again. According to Luna's directions, they needed to find a stream that flowed in an unusual pattern, and follow it until they reached a clearing with a large rock formation. They walked for about 2 hours before they found the stream. But when they saw it, both of them stopped in amazement. The water was flowing uphill, defying gravity in a way that should have been impossible. "Okay, now I'm really starting to believe this alien story," Alex said, staring at the impossible. Stream. Ryan held up the glowing stone. It was now so warm that he could barely hold it, and it was pulsing with a steady rhythm like a heartbeat. "We're getting close," he said. They followed the upward flowing stream for another hour. The forest around them continued to get stranger. Some of the trees had silver bark that seemed to shimmer. Flowers grew in patterns that formed perfect geometric shapes, and the air itself seemed to hum with a low, constant vibration. Finally, they reached a clearing surrounded by tall rocks. But these weren't ordinary rocks. They were perfectly smooth and black, arranged in a circle like an ancient monument. In the center of the circle, the ground was different. It looked like glass, but it moved like water. "This is it," Ryan whispered. "This is where she is." Alex stared at the strange scene. "Where?" "I don't see anyone." Ryan walked toward the center of the circle, holding the glowing stone. As he got closer, the stone became so hot that he had to wrap it in his jacket. When he reached the glass-like ground, something incredible happened. The surface began to ripple, and slowly an image appeared. It was Luna, but she looked different from how she appeared in his dreams. She was lying in what looked like a crystal pod, similar to the one he had seen in her ship. Her eyes were closed, and she looked peaceful but fragile. "Luna!" Ryan called out. "Luna, can you hear me?"
Yes.
Luna's eyes opened, and she looked directly at him. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. She was trying to speak, but the dimensional barrier was still too strong. Ryan knelt down and placed his hand on the glass-like surface. It felt warm and seemed to pulse with energy. The moment his hand touched it, he could hear Luna's voice in his mind. "Ryan," she said, her voice filled with relief and joy. "You found me. I knew you would." "How do I get you out?" Ryan asked aloud. "The stone," Luna's voice said in his mind. "Place the stone on the surface. It will help me break through." Ryan unwrapped the stone from his jacket. Even though it was incredibly hot, he pressed it against the glass-like ground. The moment the stone touched the surface, the entire clearing was filled with brilliant light. The ground began to crack, and energy shot up into the sky. Alex stumbled backward, shielding his eyes from the brightness. The humming sound in the air grew louder and louder until it was almost deafening. Then suddenly, everything went quiet. The light faded, and where the glass-like surface had been, there was now a perfectly round hole in the ground. And climbing out of that hole, looking exactly like she had in his dreams, was Luna. She was real. She was here. And she was looking at Ryan with the most beautiful smile he had ever seen. "Thank you," she said, her voice now clear and real and in the physical world. "Thank you for believing in me." Ryan reached out to help her climb out of the hole. When their hands touched, he felt that same warm feeling from his dreams. But now it was real and stronger than ever. Luna was finally free, but Ryan had a feeling that their adventure was just beginning. Luna stood in the forest clearing, looking around at the earth sky for the first time with her own eyes. She was exactly as beautiful as she had been in Ryan's dreams, but seeing her in person was completely different. Her skin had a soft glow, and her silver hair moved gently even though there was no wind. She was wearing the same simple clothes from his last dream, but now Ryan could see that they seemed to change color slightly, depending on how the light hit them. "This is your world," Luna said softly, looking up at the gray clouds above. "I've seen it through your eyes in our dreams, but experiencing it myself is... amazing." Alex stood a few feet away, his mouth open in shock. "She's real," he whispered. "She's actually real." Luna turned to look at Alex and smiled. "You must be Ryan's friend. Thank you for helping him find me." "How do you know English?" Alex asked, still trying to process what he was seeing.
Eyes.
"I learned it from Ryan's mind during our dream connections," Luna explained.
Oh.
"My people have the ability to understand languages through mental contact. It's how we communicate across different worlds." Ryan noticed that Luna seemed a bit unsteady on her feet. "Are you okay? You look weak." "I am weak," Luna admitted. "Being trapped between dimensions for so long has drained most of my energy. I need time to recover." "We should get you somewhere safe," Ryan said. "You can't stay out here in the forest." Getting Luna back to campus wasn't easy. They had to help her walk to the car because she wasn't used to Earth's gravity. She kept looking around in wonder at everything, the trees, the sky, even the car itself seemed fascinating to her. "Your technology is so different from ours," Luna said as they drove back to town. "We don't use machines that burn fuel. Our vehicles use energy from the stars themselves." "What's your homeworld like?" Alex asked, glancing at her in the rearview mirror. Luna's eyes grew distant. "It's beautiful. We have cities that float in the clouds, and our buildings are made of living crystal that grows like plants. The sky is always purple, and we have 3 moons that sing to each other at night." "It sounds incredible," Ryan said. "Do you miss it every day?" Luna said quietly. "But I'm grateful to be here with you. I thought I would be trapped forever." Back at the dorm, they had to be very careful to avoid being seen. Luna's appearance would definitely attract attention. They managed to sneak her into the building when most students were at dinner. Once they were safely in the room, Luna sat on Ryan's bed and looked around at the symbols that covered the walls. "These are all the messages I sent you," she said, touching one of the symbols gently. "I put so much of my energy into creating them. They saved your life," Ryan said. "Without them, I never would have found you." Over the next few days, Luna slowly began to recover her strength. She was fascinated by everything about human life. She watched Alex play video games with intense curiosity, asking questions about why humans enjoyed pretending to be in other worlds. "It's for fun," Alex explained. "We like to imagine being somewhere else, having adventures." "But you can have real adventures," Luna said, confused. "Why do you need to pretend?" "Most humans don't get to have adventures like finding someone from another world," Ryan laughed. "You have to use our imagination." Luna learned quickly about human customs and behavior. She was amazed by simple things like how humans ate food with their mouths instead of absorbing energy directly. She was fascinated by human emotions, especially laughter. "When you laugh, your whole body responds," she observed, watching Ryan and Alex joke around. "In my world, we express joy differently. We glow brighter." "Show us," Alex said. Luna smiled, and suddenly her skin began to glow softly like moonlight. The room filled with a warm, peaceful light. "This is how my people show happiness," she said. As the days passed, Ryan noticed that Luna was changing. She was becoming more human-like in small ways. She started needing more sleep, and she began to enjoy human food. Most importantly, she was developing deeper emotions. "Ryan," she said one evening when Alex was out getting dinner for them, "I need to tell you something. Being connected to you through our dreams has changed me." "Changed you how?" Ryan asked, sitting beside her on his bed. "My people don't form individual attachments the way humans do," Luna explained. "We care for our entire community equally, but you're different. When I think about you, I feel something I've never felt before." "What do you feel?" Ryan asked softly. Luna looked into his eyes. "I think humans call it love. I don't fully understand it, but I know that being near you makes me feel complete. When you're not here, I feel like something is missing." Ryan felt his heart race. "I feel the same way about you, Luna. From the first dream, I knew you were special." Reached out and touched his face gently. "Is this what humans call falling in love?" "I think so," Ryan said, covering her hand with his. I've never felt anything like this before either. Their first kiss was unlike anything Ryan had ever experienced. When their lips touched, he could feel Luna's emotions as clearly as his own. He felt her joy, her wonder at being in his world, and her deep affection for him. At the same time, Luna experienced human emotion in its full intensity for the first time. "That was beautiful," Luna whispered afterward. "I understand now why. Humans value love so much. It's the most wonderful feeling in the universe." But their happiness was complicated by a growing problem. Luna's presence on Earth was becoming more difficult to hide. Strange things happened when she was around. Electronics would malfunction, lights would flicker, and sometimes her emotions would cause her to glow unexpectedly. "I don't know how much longer we can keep this secret," Alex said one evening after Luna had accidentally caused their entire floor to lose power during a particularly happy moment. "I'm sorry," Luna said, looking embarrassed. "I'm still learning to control my abilities in this world." "It's not your fault," Ryan said, "but Alex is right. We need to figure out a long-term solution." Luna was quiet for a moment. "There is something I haven't told you," she said finally. "When I escaped from between dimensions, I sent out a distress signal. My people... they might come looking for me." "Is that good or bad?" Alex asked. "I don't know," Luna admitted. "They find me, they'll want me to return home. But if I go back, I'll never see you again, Ryan. Travel between our worlds is extremely dangerous and usually impossible." Ryan felt a cold fear in his chest. "How long do we have?" "I don't know," Luna said. "It could be days, or it could be years. People are very far away." That night, Ryan couldn't sleep. He lay in bed thinking about the possibility of losing Luna. She was lying beside him, and he could feel the warmth of her presence. She didn't sleep the same way humans did. Instead, she entered a peaceful state where she glowed softly and her mind connected with the energy of the universe. "Ryan," she whispered in the darkness, "are you awake?" "Yes," he whispered back. "Whatever happens, I want you to know that meeting you has been the most wonderful experience of my life. You showed me what it means to truly care for someone." "Love you, Luna," Ryan said, holding her closer. "I love you too," she replied. "And I've made a decision. If my people come for me, I'm going to tell them I want to stay here with you." "But what about your family? Your home?" "You're my home now," Luna said simply. "I'd rather stay in your world with you than go back to mine without you." Ryan felt tears in his eyes. "Are you sure you'd be giving up everything you've ever known?" "Sure," Luna said. "Love is worth any sacrifice." As Ryan held Luna in his arms, he realized that their story was far from over. They had found each other against impossible odds, but now they faced an even greater challenge. Would Luna's people accept her decision to stay on Earth? If they didn't, would Ryan and Luna be strong enough to fight for their love? Outside their window, the stars shone brightly, and somewhere among them, Luna's people were searching. For her, time was running out, and soon they would have to make the most important decision of their lives. 2 weeks had passed since Luna had been living secretly in Ryan's dorm room. She had learned to control her glowing better, and she was becoming more human-like every day. She could now eat regular food, sleep like a human, and even enjoyed watching movies with Ryan and Alex, but their peaceful time together was about to come to an end. It started on a Tuesday morning when Ryan noticed strange lights in the sky. They weren't like normal aircraft lights. They moved in patterns that defied physics, just like Luna's abilities. Luna saw them too, and her face went pale. "They're here," she whispered, standing by the window. "My people have found me." Alex looked up from his computer. "Are you sure?" Luna nodded, her eyes filled with worry. "Those lights. That's how our ships move through space. They've been searching for me, and now they've tracked my energy signature to Earth." Ryan felt his heart sink. "What does this mean?" "It means I have to make a choice," Luna said quietly. "They'll want me to come home with them. They'll think I'm lost or confused because I've been away from our world for so long." That evening, something extraordinary happened. As the three of them sat in the dorm room, the air began to shimmer like heat waves. Slowly, 3 figures appeared in the room. They looked similar to Luna, but older, with more formal clothing made of the same color-changing material. Luna, one of them said, speaking in a language that sounded like music. But somehow, Ryan and Alex could understand every word. Elder Kai, Luna replied, standing up respectfully. I'm glad you found me. The eldest of the three visitors looked around the room with curiosity. We have been searching for you for many cycles. When your ship disappeared, we feared you were lost forever. I crashed on this world, Luna explained. These humans saved my life. Elder Kai turned to study Ryan and Alex. Humans. We have observed this species from afar. They are still quite primitive, but they show potential. Ryan felt a bit offended by being called primitive, but he stayed quiet. This was Luna's conversation. Luna, you must return home with us, another elder said. Your family misses you, and your duties to our people await. I understand, Luna said carefully. But I need to tell you something important. Living among humans has changed me. I've learned about their emotions, their way of connecting with each other. I've experienced something they call love. The three elders exchanged glances. Love is a human concept, Elder Kai said. Our people do not form such individual attachments. It is inefficient and can lead to poor decisions. But it's not inefficient, Luna said, her voice growing stronger. Love has made me more than I was before. It has given me purpose and joy that I never felt in our world. Elder Kai looked at Ryan. You are the human she speaks of. Yes, Ryan said, finding his courage. I love Luna, and she loves me. We want to be together. Impossible, the third elder said. Luna belongs with her own kind. She has responsibilities to our civilization. What if I don't want to go back? Luna asked quietly. The room fell silent. The elders looked shocked, as if Luna had said something completely unthinkable. You cannot be serious, Elder Kai said. You would abandon your people, your family, your entire world for this. Primitive attachment? It's not primitive, Luna said firmly. And yes, I would choose to stay here. Ryan has shown me what it means to truly live, not just exist. Ryan stepped forward. I know you think we're primitive, but we're not that different from you. We have families, we care about each other, and we're capable of great love and sacrifice. I have no idea what you're asking, Elder Kai said to Luna. If you stay in this world, you can never return to ours. The journey between dimensions is too dangerous to attempt twice. I understand, Luna said, reaching for Ryan's hand. But I've already made my choice. This is my home now. Elder Kai looked sad but resigned. Luna, if you stay here, you will eventually become fully human. Your abilities will fade, your extended lifespan will shorten, and you will lose everything that makes you one of us. But I'll gain something more valuable, Luna said. I'll have a life filled with love and meaning. Elders were quiet for a long moment. Finally, Elder Kai spoke. There is another option. We could take the human with us. He could live in our world with you. Ryan's heart jumped. The idea of traveling to Luna's world was incredible, but he thought about his family, his friends, his entire life on Earth. I appreciate the offer, Ryan said. But I can't leave my world either. My family is here. My friends are here. This is where I belong. Then you understand our dilemma, Elder Kai said. Neither of you can truly be happy without sacrificing your entire world. Ow. Luna squeezed Ryan's hand. No, Elder Kai, you're wrong. We can be happy because we're choosing each other freely. Love isn't about avoiding sacrifice. It's about finding someone worth sacrificing for. Alex, who had been quiet through the whole conversation, suddenly spoke up. Can I say something? The elders looked at him with surprise. You may speak, young human. I've been watching Luna and Ryan for weeks, Alex said. I've never seen two. People care about each other the way they do. Luna has become more human, but she's also made Ryan more than he was before. Love doesn't make you less, it makes you more. Elder Kai studied Alex's words carefully. You speak with wisdom, young human. Perhaps we have underestimated your species. Luna, the second elder said, if you truly choose to stay, we will respect your decision. But you must understand that this choice is final. We cannot risk another journey between worlds. I understand, Luna said without hesitation. And I choose to stay. Elder Kai nodded slowly. Then we will leave you to your new life. But first, we must remove all traces of our technology from this world. We cannot risk other humans discovering our existence. Over the next hour, the elders used their abilities to erase all evidence of Luna's crash and any remaining alien technology. They also did something special for Luna. They gave her a small device that would help her control her transformation into a human form. This will help you live safely in this world, Elder Kai explained. Will hide your abilities from human detection and help you blend in completely. As the elders prepared to leave, Luna hugged each of them goodbye. Thank you for understanding, she said. Tell my family that I'm happy. We will, Elder Kai promised. And Luna, ... Perhaps love is not as primitive as we thought. You've shown us something new about what it means to truly live. The elders disappeared in a shimmer of light, leaving Luna, Ryan, and Alex alone in the dorm room. Are you okay? Ryan asked Luna, holding her close. I'm perfect, Luna said, smiling through her tears. I chose love over everything else, and I don't regret it for a second. What happens now? Alex asked. Now we build a life together, Luna said. I'll learn to be fully human, and Ryan will help me discover all the wonderful things about this world. 6 months later, Luna had completely transformed. She looked entirely human now, though she still had her beautiful smile and kind heart. She had enrolled in college as an exchange student, with Alex and Ryan helping her create a believable background story. Luna and Ryan moved into a small apartment together near campus. Luna discovered that she loved painting, and her artwork was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. She painted landscapes from her home world mixed with scenes from Earth, creating something entirely new and beautiful. Do you ever miss your old world? Ryan asked one evening as they watched the sunset from their apartment balcony. Sometimes, Luna admitted, but I don't regret my choice. I found something in your world that I never had in mine, the freedom to choose my own path and the joy of sharing my life with someone who truly understands me. Ryan kissed her gently. I love you, Luna. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for finding me, Luna replied. You saved me in more ways than you'll ever know. As they held each other and watched the stars appear in the evening sky, Luna knew she had made the right choice. She had given up an entire world, but she had gained something even more valuable, a love that was worth any sacrifice. Their story had begun with dreams, but now they were living their dream together, proving that sometimes the most impossible love stories turn out to be the most beautiful ones of all.